Rose Landis.
Yes.
Let's see. Cindy. Terry.
Roger Nitch. David
Gersman.
Okay, all right. We'll go to the minutes of the last meeting, and you will also find an executive committee meeting there. So if you will find those in your stack of papers and follow along, we'll have the secretary read those, please.
Meeting was called to order by Janet Dallin, President. Vice President Dylan Cole, Sean Lewis is absent. Due to the fact that the next meeting will follow the day after Christmas, Liz made the motion to move the meeting to the 19th of December. Judy Albers seconded the motion. Motion passed. Les Richard gave the Silver Legislative report on the October meeting of the SLH in Topeka. Topics included support of expanding Medicaid in Kansas, funds to the KBOP,
Yes, sir.
transportation, public fund of Kansas Public Employees Retirement System, provided cost of living for each retiree who is now entitled to capers, support the repeal of the 2015 property tax
That,
code,
you're going to get most of your
as
invitations
funding
locally, aren't you? Or are you going to do that?
become legal caregivers, strengthen grandparents' rights laws
Okay.
concerning child custody,
Who do we sign you up with? Do you remember?
matters, and pass
Okay.
the law
I tell you what,
concerning motor
if
vehicle
you want to this
liability
afternoon,
coverage.
you want to come by the office
County
and I'll
coordinator
print you out.
report.
And,
She is employee insurance. Due to lack of participation, the federal website of SHOP, where the council has purchased insurance for Teresa, is no longer available. The employee has contacted by the DCBS of Kansas, and the quote of $733.81 included dental $36.87. She needs to have an answer to the continuing of coverage. Liz Winkler made the motion to pay the $696.94, and Teresa will pay for the dental herself. Judy Albert seconded the motion. Motion passed unanimously. Teresa gave Council on Aging financial report to be filed for audit. Terry Finch, County Commissioner, suggested the council have an audit to cease the rumors going around, but he believes that both senior centers need to do an audit also. He said he should contact the company that does the county's audit and see if they would do all three. Commissioner Finch also said to have the COA board make the decision on the audits and do the 2017 to start with, and then if anything else arises, could go back to previous years. Judy Albers made the motion to do a complete financial audit on for 2017, including the Council on Aging funds. Mike seconded the motion. Motion passed. Mike will contact the audit firm in Topeka to get the balance sheet from what they need to do the audit. Open issues program for cost sharing for assistant transportation and homemaking will be tabled until January. Mike Crackey talked about the report. The structural engineer that was hired to look at their building. The engineer said the building could be repaired without major expense. The roof needs to have some repair because the roof next to it's moved in and is calling the senior center roof. The adjuster needs to talk to the owner of the bar. I don't know.
Here.
It's on the back side.
No.
That's
No.
right. I didn't get it.
I got it. Bob Roberts gave his opinion on what he saw as far as the inspection of the building.
Where you see that at?
On your back.
On the back side.
Okay. You get one.
Bob made the motion to pay the full $650 to the structural engineer. Mike seconded the motion. Motion carried. Bids will be tabled until the December meeting. Bob will get 2 bids on the entry and approach to the Lincoln Senior Center. County bus. Teresa discussed with Steve Grazall, that's what he said.
Grazall.
Hospital administrator, about issues with people not getting to the doctor until they are sick. She said that there was only one instance as far as he knew, and that he checked with his staff and they were not seeing any issues as of now. Teresa also talked about the Ticket to Ride program that the council has had in the past. No one is using that now. Judy Albers made a motion to have a punch card for seniors to ride the bus free of charge, so they will be able to eat lunch at the Lincoln Senior Center. Nancy Nix seconded the motion. Motion passed. Liz made a motion to reimburse Teresa $38 for the filing fee for the 990. Nancy seconded the motion. Motion carried. Meeting was adjourned.
Okay. All right. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? All right. If not, they'll stand approved as read. Then if you'll go to the executive committee meeting minutes, short half page dated December 12th, 2017. Charlene, if you'll read those, please.
Janet Dowling called the executive committee to order. Those present were President Jan Dowling, Vice President Jolene Cole, Secretary Charlene Watson, and Treasurer Charlene DeWitt, and the county coordinator. The Lincoln County Council on Aging has received a letter, a certified letter from David and Mona Gerstmann, requesting to look at all the bank statements, vendor receipts, invoices, mileage logs from January 1, 2015 to the present. Request 990s, articles of incorporation and organization bylaws. Charlene DeWitt made a motion to contact a lawyer, Chance Martin, to advise the council on this request and other issues. Jolene Cole seconded the motion. Motion passed unanimously. Charlene Watson made the motion to have Teresa send certified letters to the Gerstmann relaying to them that we are contacting a lawyer to advise council on this matter. Charlene DeWitt seconded the motion. Motion passed. President Jan Dowling adjourned the meeting.
Okay. Any additions or corrections to that? All right. I'll stand approved as read. Okay. Then let's go on to discuss the, as you read in the executive committee meeting, we did receive a certified letter from the Gerstmanns requesting all of those different forms, and we have contacted Chance Martin, who is here at our meeting today, to advise us as to what we need to do about this. And if you'll look in your papers, you will find a letter, looks like this. This is from Chanson, who's here. Okay. Okay.
Doesn't have it.
Should be in there somewhere.
It should be the back page of. Keep looking.
It's not there. I'm telling you,
No, she doesn't have it.
Oh, okay,
it's not there.
all right,
Well, this must be yours then.
Must be.
okay.
Thanks.
All right, and if you'll follow along, I will read his response. Teresa, in general, the only records a private 501c nonprofit is obligated to make available to public inspection pursuant to the Internal Revenue Code are: 1, its IRS application for exemption; 2, its Forms 990; and 3, if a public charity, its Forms 990T. However, a nonprofit organization will be subject to the Kansas Open Records Act, KORA, if it is deemed to be a public agency. In determining whether an organization is a public agency subject to the requirements of KORA, the following factors, among others, will be considered: whether the nonprofit was created by statute or a governmental entity, whether and to what extent it provides a governmental service, and 3, whether the organization received public funds. Although the mere receipt of public funds does not generally trigger the application of the KORA, private non-profit entities that receive public funds should be conscious of certain factors surrounding their existence that would bring them within the purview of the KORA. Please share the above general information with your board in advance of the meeting if possible. In the meantime, he asked for more information about LCCA and asked to have a copy of the Articles of Incorporation and bylaws. And please also tell me how LCCA was created and how it is funded. Having answers to these questions will help me advise the board. Okay. So. Now. Chance, can you enlighten us any further?
I can. Teresa's provided me with some background on the board. I want to make sure my understanding is correct that this council is 100% government funded. Is that correct? There's no private donation or anything like that. Okay. And it is a 501c3 nonprofit, correct? Privately created, but government funded. Initially created for a government purpose, more or less. That everybody in agreement on that? Okay. Well, the request, Forms 990 is virtue of being private 501c3. You have to get that. And the IRS does recommend you give bylaws and articles of incorporation on this. So I think it's good policy to make those things available just because you are a 501c3. And then the rest of the request, there's a question of whether you're a public agency. There have been numerous opinions that come down on that, not from courts, but advisory opinions. And it appears, I would say, that you're a public agency based on the factors that we've discussed. You're 100% government funded. You were created basically by the government, and your whole purpose is a government purpose. And so, more than likely, you would be considered a public agency under that, and therefore subject to the Kansas Open Records Act. And so those things that have been requested, they're reasonably tailored in time and scope and what's being requested. So I believe you should comply with that and make those records available.
Bank records
Correct. Most things, there are very few things a public agency has that aren't subject to the Kansas Open Records Act. Some of those things being, records that are attorney-client privilege, or records regarding secure facilities, that type of thing. You don't necessarily have to make those things available. But anything that has to do with money that comes in from the government, from the public, general rule of thumb is that it needs to be open to the public. As to how you make that available, you can develop procedures in doing that. But general rule is you need to respond to those requests within 3 days. Usually could probably designate a records custodian, whether that's Teresa or somebody else, but someone should be designated as that to respond to these types of requests. And if additional time is needed, other than the 3 days, you need to respond in writing explaining why, and then setting up time for these requesters to come view the documents and make those available. You can charge a reasonable fee for doing so. So if you have staff time in making these available, you can charge that. The charge cannot exceed the actual cost that you have in making the records available. So you have someone you pay $12 an hour, a staff person, and that person needs to be available to make those records available for 3 hours. You can charge 12 times 3. And then there's copying fees, the cost of your paper, the cost of your ink, very nominal fees to make those things available. Based on what I've seen and reviewing your bylaws and your articles, and just the general information I have about the creation of the LCCA, I think you're a public agency.
Do we really have to go back, what, 8 years?
I think just 2 years.
2015.
15? Oh, wait a minute, wait a
2015.
minute.
Still thinking about them coins.
My addition went out the window. I was,
2015, Judy, was what they requested. Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We did this once before with an individual who came in here and let her look through everything. She took pictures with her iPad, I think it was. And then what she did was she manipulated and put it on Facebook to make it look like we were not in compliance with our rules and regulations because she was using older bylaws, older mill levy regulations, et cetera, and then she'd put it out there and say, hey, look, they're not even following their own rules. They're making rules up. And so I have a question about like video, pictures, camera pictures, et cetera. What do you think about that?
Well, they can take copies of these things.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's in the Kansas Open Records Act. They want copies of these things. They can do them. So taking a picture of it would be the same as running through a copy machine. So yeah,
Okay.
people can take copies of as to what they do with after they get the documents. You know, I think it's critical that you maintain the integrity of your documents so that if there is ever a question about them, you've got them. They haven't been altered in any way.
but if they're only going 2 years, they wouldn't have access to the old where we made updates.
No, they're going from January of 2015 to
Yeah.
present.
But I'm saying, they wouldn't have from 2010 when, and we have made changes to the bylaws, then they wouldn't have
But
the,
it's in
Well, they would have the
bylaws.
most recent one.
They would have the most
that's
recent.
what I'm getting
Yeah,
at. the
yeah.
only
They
most
would be allowed access to the most recent ones. But we don't have to go back to that from, correct.
I
Okay.
have a question. We've already agreed to do all these audits. Why in the world do they need this? Except to cause trouble, as you said.
Well, any public agency that's subject to the Kansas Open Records Act really isn't in a position to question why someone wants the records, just has to make the records reasonably available.
Even though they'll use them to cause trouble.
Yeah, again, you can't control what folks do with public records once they get them, but it's like you or I could go to Topeka and get all the committee minutes from any legislative record and do whatever we want with those. As a public agency, you just gotta comply, and what people do with it is up to them.
Who would you recommend to be in charge of that Open Records Act? I mean, there's actually somebody responsible for that.
Typically, you need to designate a custodian.
Who would that be?
like that.
Somebody on the commission or somebody else?
You could have somebody who's reasonably here. I don't know if Teresa's here most of the time. Do you have any other employees? I mean, you don't really have many.
Well, we have a treasurer.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying Charlie should do it. I'm saying we have a treasurer that knows about all the money in the situation.
So it needs to be
To
somebody
me,
that's familiar with it.
it seems like she would be the one that should do it. I'm just my own personal opinion.
Well, and I think too, if you're, have somebody come in here and look at those records, I would want, because I may get interrupted, may have somebody coming in here board members in here while they're here. So I would like to have at least 2 board members here while they're here.
You kind of need 2 other people because you get wrapped up in too many other things, so.
And that would be.
What about account numbers and, I mean, I just have a problem with throwing the bank account numbers out there everywhere.
I mean, you can reasonably redact account numbers and things like that, as long as it's clear that, it's account A or it's account B, it's clear that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand that.
that's where it is, but I just, the thought of throwing those bank account numbers out there just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do to me.
Not in this day and age.
Especially where they'll probably end up putting all this stuff on.
Facebook.
On Facebook and telling everybody, because that's what they did before.
So Chance, it would be up to the board to designate 1 or 2 people to be here. What would you prefer, Teresa?
I think 2 people need to be here.
2 people besides her when we set up this meeting with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Would you like a motion on that?
Yes, Mike, that'd be fine.
Okay, I move that the Council on Aging honor and permit the Kansas Open Records Act request by Lona and David Gershman to inspect their bank statements and vendor receipts and invoices for the period and time requested in their certified letter requested December 7th, 2017.
What's the actual date?
The actual dates, December 7th, 2014. Well, it's based on the paperwork they
It's
provided.
15.
Yeah, December 7th, 2017 was their request, whatever that request requires.
I think it said January 1st, 2015 to the present.
I think it's through 15 and 16.
Yeah, well, I can look
Whatever
on the
request
actual
there.
letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says 2015 through present.
Yeah, 1/1/2015 through 12/31/2016.
I'll second it.
Okay, now, a particular December was,
It's January 1 of 15 through December 31st of 16 as the request.
okay, and you had a particular date in mind?
No, that was, the date I put in there was the date that the letter was sent.
But you keep saying 16, and it says to present.
Well, that's the executive committee, but that's not what that reads.
What,
Here's the
The original, I'm looking at the
Well,
original
monthly
letter I
bank
received.
statements from all bank or investment firm accounts that have received public monies in whole or in part from 1/1/2015 through the most recently received statements.
But that's
in
not,
LCCA.
that's not the KORA request asked for. The KORA says to 12/31.
Yes, it does.
Right here,
Yeah,
you showed me
okay, this is the letter I received.
Yeah, we're looking to see.
Uh-huh.
That first statement, that first
Yeah.
paragraph.
Up there, well, yeah, I was looking at number 2.
that. Okay, so I would amend my motion to read to present.
Okay, all right,
For January of 15 to present.
okay,
And I need a second on the amendment.
okay.
I'll still second it.
Okay, thank you. Let's give Charlene time to write there.
Well, I'm not sure I could.
Okay. Do you want to read
What
that?
I have is Mike moves to honor and respect the Gershman request. Whatever the Gershman request requires for the time requested to put the present of January.
Okay,
Just put from January 1 of
present.
15 to present.
Yeah.
That makes it easier, clarifies it a little bit.
okay. And seconded by you, Judy, second. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion passed. All right, then we'll have to get together with them and decide on a time. Oh, no. Who else do we want to, anyone want to volunteer to be here
It's easier for
to
me.
assist with that?
My schedule's flexible.
Mine is too. I can use, well, I can recruit another driver for my
Yeah.
name. Okay.
My time would be limited, I'm not sure. I can't make a
Okay.
commitment.
Okay. I'm pretty flexible. Okay. So Liz
Liz and
and myself.
Jan.
Jim. Sorry.
I answer to most anything. My full name is Janet, but I answer to Jan or whatever. Okay. And then some other things too.
You want to put that in motion, Judy?
I make a motion that Liz Winkler and Jen Dolan will be here with Teresa when the Gershmans go over all the paperwork.
Okay, is
Does
there a
that make
second?
sense?
A second. Okay, seconded by Charlene. Do it. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much, Ken.
Sure.
Really appreciate that. Okay, anything more on that? Can we go on to,
Do we need to set a specific time, start setting a specific time for that?
I'm just sure they could be home.
Liz, what do you think?
Makes me no difference.
Do you want to wait until after the holiday?
That would matter.
Would
Will it
that
be all right with you?
Absolutely, whenever it's convenient after
After
the
the
first day.
holidays, early
Absolutely,
in January?
absolutely, that'd be
Okay,
great.
all right. And would you leave,
His contact information is on that.
on there?
Do you have a phone number?
Yeah, we need your phone number.
Yes, I'll provide you my card after the meeting.
Okay, that would be very good. Thank you. Okay. So, is that all we need?
You don't need me any further, I can get out of your hair.
I think, and we appreciate
Sure.
your advice.
Glad to be here. Need anything else, let me know.
Okay, all right, thank you very much, Ken. Okay, next on our agenda is the financials. You'll look down in your pile.
Thank you very much.
Financials, we have 2 pages like that, and then we should have this one also somewhere.
Is there a list that shows who the checks are written to?
No, I didn't write the checks out this time. I had other things.
Okay.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
we
you were
usually have
busy.
one, that's why I asked.
Okay, all right. Okay, which one are you doing first, Teresa? These?
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing the ones with the green lines on them.
Okay, look at December's, and I'll go down to, hold on a minute, let's see. We sent Sylvan Grove $650 for the structural engineer. 180.47 was for the phone and internet. 155 was for the lease, or the rent. For advertising for open enrollment, it was $287.
Total check written was $4,444.98. Balance was $2,466.31. On your second page, in the money market, $35,083.46. We have not received December. There was a December, November of $1,585. $25,000 in a CD, one CD, and then $5,000 in another CD. Savings account is $8,686.70, less $3,000 transfer, leaves us an ending balance of total, let's see, total other accounts, $70,690, adding the $2,466.31, leaves us an ending balance of $73,156.47.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, the amount we paid for your insurance was supposed to be $696.94, and they're showing $733.81.
Just because I always pay it out in one check, and then it comes out of my check.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, then we go on to the Bank of Texas one. Like this.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to write that on?
I'm going to take money out of the savings account, checking account just now.
No, it's all done for the year.
Done?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all done for the
All
year.
right.
That should be, unless something comes up between last week, and I don't think that's. Bank of Memorial account, there's, oh man, they really beat that one up. $11,000. Yeah, $1,149.55.
Somebody got wishful thinking there.
Yeah. Money market account, started out with $30,707.49. Interest earned was $13.84. They transferred out $3,000 million and ended now for $27,721.43. Checking account balance, $2,689.07. Deposit over $3,000. Less the checks at $531.68 for the city of Lincoln. Payroll was $1452.92. Kansas Gas Service, $61.05, Dollar General Supplies, $41.23, and then another payroll of $12.05.77. Total checks written was $32.92.65, leaving in the balance of $2,396.42. In the money market, the balance was $8,014.59, transfer of $7,000 to their money market from their other account, leaves a balance of $15,015.82. And here's the checking account balance is $10,019.58. All the deposits at $375. Less the checks of $7,679.41, leaves an ending balance in their money market of $2,716.17. If you have any questions, don't ask me.
Who do we ask?
There's nobody here from this meeting.
Okay, yeah.
And I consider the state bank, the LCCA. Is that the private account, or is that your revenue?
That's private.
So the $7,000 from checking, which checking account that comes from?
Well, it came from their, see, they've got a checking account at Citizens. They also have a money market there. So this is where they always put their donations and,
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
yeah. Everything at the bank is tested as melody money, from my understanding. So don't take this test.
Okay. Any other questions on those? All right, they will be for us to audit.
We have no monthly meeting this month, but as requested last month's meeting, we were asked to provide a annual financial statement on our mill levy account, and I have done that, and I'll give you all copies of it.
Okay, thank you.
Both income and expenses for the year.
Okay, so this is the total year, Mike?
Does anybody else want one? That's next up. I will make one correction on page 1. On page 1, it says dated 6/10, line of supply. Scratch that because that is actually an expense. I set this spreadsheet up with income and expense in the same sheet. It didn't work out. And so I re-edited it. So there
Okay,
is no-
and there wasn't any
No.
expense there?
No, that is an expense, but that's an income, it's on income page. You'll find it also on page
So just
3.
eliminate that line.
Yeah, just
Well,
eliminate.
I didn't believe it, that's my mistake. You can believe it, there's no amount in there. So anyway, the mill levy money we received is $2,620.30. You'll notice on 3-1, we did transfer, which we're not supposed to, from private to mill levy, $1,000, but we were out of money. And we had to transfer that. What's that? Why? Because we didn't have the funds. We weren't funded. That's why. You have the transfer for what purpose? To pay bills. We had bills to pay. You'll see the bills on page 3.
So why didn't you just take bills out of that account?
Because we didn't have the money in that account.
Well, the money was gone.
And it's a mill levy expense for the utility bill. But anyway, you can see I've itemized everything between expenses, improvement expense, food service, gas, electric, internet, phone, supplies, cleaning, and miscellaneous. I've tried to break it down so you can see exactly how it's broken out. And on the last page, you'll see our expenses. The 80180 is, according to commissioners, an improvement expense is over and above your mill levy. So the 80180 is the improvement expense. The city service is 442. Oh, I might mention before we get to that, we don't have December done. So what I did is I took 11 months of the total of 11 months we've had, divide by 11, put 1 month in, projected December expense. So I have $442.50 for city services, $9.50 for gas, $597.40 for electricity, $1152.30 for phone, internet, supply, $875.39, cleaning $125.50, miscellaneous expenses $669.55. So our operating expenses were $4,768.62. That's what it cost us for this year. And our mill levy receipt was $2,628.30.
Your fiscal year is from
But our funding year is
October or November through
but our funding year
October.
is January to December. So that's what this is based on, our mill levy funding year.
Well, your fiscal year is it the 1st of November or the 1st of October?
1st of October.
The 1st of October through the end of September.
But our bill levy is based on the calendar year, not our fiscal year.
It doesn't matter, you're running, that's the base that you're running on,
I
so
feel
that's
that.
where everything.
It ain't gonna change. Yeah, but our funding is based on a calendar basis, how it's funded to us. And that's the way you.
So you still get payments in, January, February, and,
Every
but
year.
is it June or July
No,
or
no, no.
whatever,
We
so
got payments
it's still
in,
gonna be in there.
We received the payment on 29th of March and February 6th. Those are the dates we received the payment, the middle of the month. We received nothing in July, and the balance of the commission payments in it. So we're short.
He's trying to show the expenses related to the time period that we received the money.
Yeah.
So it'll look even worse. Includes October and November.
It's still 12 months, when we've got October,
Still 12 months.
January, December. I'm just trying to follow with the mill levy money out comes in. Because the disbursement of the,
Okay, in October of 2016, you received a check for $1,271.38 from the Council on Aging, and it was deposited into your title account.
I don't know how that, I didn't see that.
And,
That's what we're having trouble with.
and then in November, another check, let's see, was deposited for $1,228.62 into your private account.
I don't know why I'm.
And, let's see, in December, and let's see, you paid Wagner Insurance out of your, no, deposit LCCA Insurance and Lawn, $1,043.08. So, right there is over $3,000 that was put into your account in the beginning of your fiscal year of October.
$3,600. Over $3,600.
But Wagner was nothing more than that.
No, I seen Wagner because your, on your, Wagner was above that. The deposit, LCCA, insurance, and bond, $1,043.08. And I remember that Rosella Trapp came here and requested that, and I think the commissioner was here, plus Don Harlow was here about that. And we gave them the insurance, the money for the insurance and stuff. So that right there, like I said, it kind of doesn't look quite right.
Aren't you talking 2016?
Yes, yes. October, no, yes, I know, but see, their fiscal year runs from October to, and we gave them 3 checks,
I don't, or you look at it and tell me.
and it went into their private money.
Can we ask you?
Meal and
Yeah,
private.
there is, and I'm not, I wasn't on the board at that time, I don't know where that,
Seems to keep going back to that thing.
I
Like that, it's been going through the past 8
Like
months.
I said, I mean, you still have 1 month here, you don't, or, I'm sorry, you have 1 account here and you don't have the other account. So, this needs to be
but
your last fiscal year on both counts.
the mill levy goes, should only go in the mill levy account.
This is true, but obviously doesn't know where it's going.
I'm not aware, I wasn't aware of that.
That's what I'm saying. You're doing a good job, Michael. You keep going back to the same thing. We need to direct you several years back from you.
So,
So you see where the hell all that money's at.
I would
Where it's
ask
gone.
you to go back
You
and do
been there how
that.
long? How long you been on that board? He's on the city board. 40 years. You gotta know where all that money's gone. You gotta get the board members.
Can you go back and do this?
I can do,
Just run it from October 1 through September the 30th.
I can do it to where we're at, and then
Okay,
we'll start
and
up
on
again.
both accounts. Because obviously there's deposits that aren't showing up in here, so they should have gone into the other account. That's not where
But
they
I
should
would
have gone,
say,
but.
I'd like to,
you
if I
know.
can read it. And
Yeah.
understand it and understand it.
Okay, Liz, do you want to make that into a motion?
Yes.
All right.
I'll make a motion then that please go back and calculate what's been all of the children, senior centers and county expenses from their fiscal year of October 1 of 16 through September the 30th of 17 for all accounts.
Right, and it will be, multiple pages. We can count everything.
Well, yes.
Before you make that motion though, we're all representing, Mike, you don't know where they're at.
Yeah,
You know where they're at?
I did have some of the records, but I didn't go back on it. I went back to the county.
I would ask them.
Well, I did, but they have been turned over to the new treasurer. And I did, and this came from the new treasurer. Actually, the, Venus thing, and the issue is that, in the treasurer, it's 16 on, like, I think we got 6 years later, things went updated, so I had to go back and back to that. And so now, I told her I felt it, but, let the motion be, we'll continue on it, not me.
People like said, when you see the last one, it's hardly readable. And so, Bob, do you want to second that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. You
I'm
said,
sorry.
Okay,
you made a
that's what we
motion,
did.
the 7-year-old senior's gonna go back and calculate income and expenses for the fiscal year 2016.
That would be October of 16 through September of 17.
And Mike, you can't get those records, you let her know.
For
I'll
all-
find it.
Okay.
For all, I go back, I go to the bank because my name is on the account. But Venus can go in.
I can. I'm on the bank account too.
You were gonna deliver her a meal.
No, she's here.
She's here.
You can eat with me. No, my daughter's back there delivering it. Okay.
Seconded by
No. Okay, all right. Do you want to read the motion so everybody understands what we're doing?
Liz made a motion that
facility board senior center, go back and calculate the income and expense for the fiscal year, October to 2016, through September 17. Well, that sounds fine. All right? Everybody understand the motion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
All right, motion passed. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mike, for doing all of that. Okay. Are we all done with financials then? Okay. Let's go on to next one, open issue. Bids, is that these that I have, Teresa, or we have anything else? Okay. Okay. We've received 3 bids, and I'll pass these all around for those of you that were involved with the wall out here. Okay, we talked about that last time. One from Don's Glass Shop, which is just down the way here, for that wall construction and so forth, $405.16. That's $405.16. Okay. And then we have,
Let me stop you, Jane. What exactly are they doing?
they're going to construct a more sturdy wall for.
Solid wall.
A solid wall,
Okay.
yeah, a more sturdy wall. Okay, we have one from Ron Rathbun for $761.43. Okay, that's that of it. And then we have one from Elite Construction and Remodeling, which is Brennan Johnson, for $1,744.77. So we have quite a range here. Yeah. So I'll pass
Okay,
those.
I got a question.
Okay.
Just says, whatever material cost plus double it with labor. So this could double.
That could change apparently.
Oh, okay. I'm
Well,
glad
I'm
you
like,
read.
yeah, these are real far spread, and you can't, well, I don't quite understand what they're, go ahead and pass those around. Let's see
Well, I
exactly
am,
what
but
it
I'm
is that
trying
they're-
to make a
yeah.
comment that what he wrote here,
Let's see
this could be
exactly what those
800.
are.
Let me ask this, are each one bidden exactly on the material? Okay. Is that a
On
Lincoln Senior
exactly
Center?
on what
Okay, with the
they see
Lincoln-
for that wall,
what they
yeah,
specify.
yeah, yeah, whatever they,
So where is the construction
Here,
one?
we'll get it together, so you kind of.
500 East Lincoln.
Lincoln Avenue, from Lincoln, yeah. They're all
Brandon
three.
Johnson.
Sorry,
Brandon Johnson.
didn't you?
No, I didn't see that one. I don't know why.
Okay.
I didn't either.
It could be higher than all of them.
Okay,
You mind trying to read something extra?
No, I didn't, when I read it, he saw, it did not state.
Yeah, because this is, see, this says labor $300, so.
okay, well, you are all,
Another 18 on top of there,
Are these bids
so then
guaranteed?
make this one like
Apparently
12,
that first one is not.
15.
Oh, I bet it is. It's not how he does that
But,
stuff.
well, the,
in that area.
I'll bet you he will.
this one has an acceptance, signature line on it. So it's 1,700.
According to Becky.
Labor is,
And he does it at night when nobody's around.
Well, he does a good job.
Yeah, he does it
Ron
at
does.
night.
That would hurt people.
This is yours, $1,250. Instead of this amount,
Two
it's
people,
1,250.
22 hours is 11 hours.
See,
So,
right here says
his
double.
hourly rate is
Double.
$65 an hour.
It says double.
They just got labor on there.
oh, okay, I'm glad you noticed that,
Well,
all right.
It's gotta be more.
Judy.
See, that's why I'm passing these around, because you guys know more about these. Some of you know more about these,
Whatever.
the type of things.
I know they're
that-
putting, I'm assuming that's the stuff they're putting on the wall. Hardwood, whatever that is, so.
Bob, is that C-111? What they call the hardwood?
Yeah, yeah.
It's sturdy, very sturdy.
Expensive stuff, too. But now,
I'm sorry,
It's
but
wrong.
that first one, I caught my eye, but it
Put it in
didn't
the
seem right.
sewer and
762.
cost, double it.
Yeah.
That's
Uh-huh.
$1,000 more for Ron.
With
Sure check
labor.
with Ron, make sure that's
Okay.
the total price. Because he's got $762.43 for the price of the whole job. That's labor and everything.
Bob, I never looked, is the material price the same between other bids?
Oh, they're looking around, 420 plus tax, so roughly 450, 460, whatever
Yeah,
on the
367.88.
materials.
360
So it's in the range of like 350 up to 400 or so, no, for
Well,
that.
now see,
Is,
he didn't put the barnwood inside with his materials, so.
there's
Mhm.
the, there. So,
So this one, Bob, should actually be like 800 and some?
No, if you double the labor, that's
yeah, it's gonna be in that
$1,215.
12 something area.
$1,215 if you read that right.
I don't think that's what he intended, so.
That's what it says.
I don't think that's what he intended.
But that is
Because
what it
he,
says.
because he did that work on the basement out deal, and it cost us less than $100 to get that done.
Oh, really?
You might want to check with him then, just
Yeah,
to make sure.
like I said, he's the guy down here
Is
on the
Becky
corner.
here?
Huh?
Becky's here.
Yeah, she's here.
Let me ask,
we ask her?
as the board of directors here, do we make recommendations and they choose actually which one they want to fund or to do the job? Because it's their wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
we're paying for
I
it.
know that, but they should have actually gave us these three bids and said, this is the recommendation we would like to go with.
Well,
Well, and I think, did Jolene say anything last month? Or what?
I don't recall that she did.
Hold on.
And here's the other thing I'm gonna mention. Even if we chose the cheaper bid, if they choose to go above it, we only pay the bid that we choose.
Yep.
If the choice is there,
that's what the rest of the month.
yeah, they would have to come up with it.
Understand something. When you give an estimate, it's an estimate.
Uh-huh.
It's not the actual cost.
Not the actual
So it
cost,
it
yeah.
actually costs more than what they're putting down here. If it's a complete job, $762.43, that's complete. That's everything. I mean, we don't have to pay no money.
Everything seems to be
No matter what
listed
happens.
there.
Bob, like that computer generated page.
Yeah.
Where it says accepted by an accepted date. If it's signed as accepted, does that mean that bid is firm?
Yes.
If we sign it, that we accept this bid at this, that's exactly what it means. It's not a very good contract, but, I've got a better contract.
I thought an estimate, it could not be over. If they give you a written
Oh, no,
estimate,
man, you're wrong.
It's an
You need
estimate.
Because if I would tear your part of your wall out of your house and all the boards are rotten, you're gonna charge me for the boards? No, I'm gonna charge you. That's an estimate. I cannot see that.
Yeah, because
I have to admit.
that was an unanticipated
Yes.
expense.
You always have those things. Just like all these right here,
If
That was,
that railing to make it solid has got to go down to the main floor. You can't see what's under there unless you take that.
See, I
With that
think what it
basement look.
says here is whatever
So,
the materials
something could
cost,
change
double it will be
with that.
labor, so he's
I
putting
mean, I wouldn't bet
$200
unless I
to
kick that
$200.
ceiling down.
Oh,
See,
that's what I'm thinking.
So I can make
Yeah,
it
we'll
solid.
tell them that.
But
I don't know if they did that.
She's reading this
Ask
different.
Bob what that means, when he wrote that note
Okay.
at the bottom.
I think what he meant here is he's trying to explain to you, he's putting down plus labor, because way I'm understanding, and I think this was done back in October, that whatever his materials is, that will be the cost of his labor too. He will just double the materials.
Cost double it, double material with the labor. His labor's not on there.
Yeah, it is. It's $200.
Or $200. Whatever the material is, double it with labor. Double it with labor. So you're gonna be it's gonna be $1,000.
But the
$1,015.
thing too is, it says whatever the material is, the material could change.
Exactly.
well, they need to get that fixed. So, can I just make a motion? See what you guys think of this?
Yeah,
Like I said,
go.
because that needs to be dealt with. And in looking at these, let's just go with a round number and say that we approve $750 to be given to the Lincoln Senior Center to take care of their front railing or
Wall
wall or
repair.
whatever they want to do
Rail
with it. So,
repair.
You know, it's like we'll give them $750 to do it with, and anything over that they can take care of themselves.
Okay.
So,
I think we ought to have Becky come in here and have her hear what we just said, because she's in charge of that over there. I understand what you're saying.
well, if large problems would arise, which I don't see why they would, but if they do, then
I presume Becky was probably here when they came to get quotes.
they can
Yes, sir, yeah, she
Yes,
was.
Becky was in.
Yeah.
Now
bring that
also,
to us.
hold that there. The concrete bits for the back position are not in yet. She's asked that. Earl Kendall Connect's supposed to come up. Gary Radford Construction, they're supposed to come up from Lincoln, they're sliding, both of them. So those bids are still going to come in on the back slab.
Okay, and that's an entirely different project.
Yes, yeah, that's what she's asked for though.
Okay, all right.
I don't want
All
to
right.
see.
Listen to Liz, Becky.
Okay, sorry.
She's made a motion.
Well-
Seconded it.
Yeah, we're looking at these. On this, is it supposed to be plus more labor, or that's not the entire bid, is it? He has this note on the bottom, and we're not fully understanding what that's supposed to mean.
Oh, no, I think he's just telling you whatever material cost would be, double it with labor.
So that's not definite cost.
So,
Because it's
well,
over $1,000.
his estimate would be that it would be $200 in parts, and he gave $200 labor. So I think that's it.
Where do you see $200 for material?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah,
205
yes.
is what he has on.
205.16.
And you have,
You can't.
I've got over
I thought it was really
I come up with over $1,000 on that bid.
I thought it was a really low bid, but
he
they
does
said
say-
he does a lot of stuff because he enjoys doing it, and it's not a big money thing for him because he like painted our back. Did he do that back?
He redid that entryway into the
Yeah.
basement. 'cause he
It's
put-
almost,
they were
it's almost
$1,000
like he's doing it as a public, part of it is a public service.
Yeah.
Right, but partly too
Right.
is,
He does
the
mowing too,
material
right?
costs, that won't change that.
And he
I'm
underbid
not sure you
everybody.
look at the
Yeah,
materials
see, he
for that.
underbid everybody mowing too, the cemeteries.
But that's-
And,
that's
yeah, like I
labor.
said, yeah.
That's labor.
Yeah.
For material. 205.16.
Labor can flex, but materials, you the same materials,
Double that.
and you have specifications how you want to.
Yeah, like 4 inches. 4 feet tall and however long. It's a little over
Unless
12
he's just
feet.
saying that
You
we'll
have
look
the
it
same
up with the
materials.
materials.
Yeah, I
That's
told
double
him
it,
on
and
the
that's
on the
total.
side where the
So,
handrail
yeah,
will go
it's
where
gonna be
people's
confusing.
hands will go. I told him barnwood and with slivers, but on the opposite side where you would face everybody, I wanted something fun that we can. And I suggested barnwood, and then the other guy with Elite, he had suggested there's like a stone paneling that he had said that he thought would look cool there, but his bid was like $1,000
Yeah.
higher than everybody else. So
Yeah.
So there are different materials
there is options, but
there. So did Lincoln Senior Center have a choice they didn't go with those three?
they didn't really. They just wanted a wall. They didn't want any railing again. They just wanted a wall. That was the only thing that they said.
Mhm.
No, like they don't want the same thing again, like replaced with like a vinyl railing.
Right.
That would just be 3. They wanted it sturdy, so
I want a solid wall.
yeah, a solid,
Right.
well, half wall, but yeah.
Okay, all right.
All right. Liz made a motion.
I'll still stick with that motion.
Yes.
The
All right.
motion
Say it again,
is,
so Becky
is,
understands.
what is it, I make the motion that we approve $750 in funds for the Lincoln Senior Center to be used for fixing their railing problem or for putting in a wall or whatever. If you can get it done for less than that, wonderful. And if it's more than that, then you guys can worry about the difference.
Okay, that's awesome.
But not to exceed 750. If it's less, we don't
Correct.
fund the 750.
Right.
If it's more, we don't pay more.
And we don't pay, we pay less if it costs less.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Not to
Obviously.
exceed,
Up
not to
to.
exceed the cost of 750 up to 750.
Okay, do we have a second for Liz's motion? Okay, Mike
You're
second.
adding up 2 in there? But she just said approve 750 for
Yeah.
Lincoln
Up
Senior.
to.
Up to.
Yeah.
Up to. Put a little carrot in there.
Now we can choose what you want to do.
That sounds great.
You want
Thank
to
you.
go all out, go out.
Okay,
I know. I'm gonna go all
So
crazy.
you get to choose whoever you want,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but if it costs more than that, you're going to pay it.
okay. You want these back, Beck?
Yeah,
Becky,
I
you want
understand.
these back?
Yeah, so I can
All right.
follow.
All right, okay.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay, everybody understand the motion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? All right, motion passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you on behalf of the Lincoln Senior Center.
Uh-huh.
So who seconded it?
I agree.
Mike did. Mike did. Okay, on to new business. End of year excess money. Teresa.
What about the audit?
Oh, thank you, yes. Thank you, Liz. Let's go back. Okay. We last month's minutes.
Okay, Carrie was supposed to find out from the county or whoever does the
Oh,
county.
yeah, did you find out anything, Terry?
Yeah, they suggested that you use an outside firm separate from them.
Did they give any
Did you give
suggestions of
anybody or
names?
what?
No, they didn't.
I haven't contacted them. My personal opinion is right now, we need to finish 17, because that audit was on 17. Finish the year, and I'll request information, but.
Well, by the time everything gets there, it's gonna be over with anyway,
But
so.
the other thing is, we
need to
do
move
have,
along with
we
it.
do have a review coming up now, through the Kurtzmans. So, do we wanna spend the money for professional audit?
Yes,
All right.
Kurtzman are,
They're
they're not professional auditors that I'm aware of.
They are.
Are you?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Are you a professional auditor?
No.
Okay.
I will contact the company in Topeka. They were the ones I talked to earlier. Get further information from them and.
What company is that?
Should be Burbridge Trahan.
Spell that, please.
Spell that.
BERBERICH TRAHAN. Yeah, that's that.
B-E-R.
BERBERICH
I got that.
Trahan, TRAHAN.
That's in Topeka.
There's the speaker, should be. They're the only ones who were willing to do it once before.
Okay.
So the other thing too is on their balance sheet, senior centers are going to have to do a lot of work to get that,
Is that done?
assets done.
Is that done?
Uh-huh. Is it started?
No,
We had this discussion.
we'll have to review it.
What are we waiting
I
on?
wanna see what they require now when I send them information. I would like them to send us the forms that we all fill out.
Well, the balance sheet's a balance sheet,
I
it's not a
know,
required form.
Well, we didn't have one last time.
Because you're gonna have to get estimates of the building.
You're going to have
of
to
your
put it
buildings.
together.
Yeah, and it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, it would be nice if we
The
did.
contents and all, everything. It doesn't hurt to do an inventory once a year.
No, but it needs to get done. I thought last month that that's what you were doing.
No, I said I was gonna contact the insurance, I would contact the company, I said I would request whatever forms they need if they send them to us. But we're not going for a bid now. Now you said you're doing it. The bid's out of question. Now you're just paying them for whatever they charge.
That's true, but we need to get them the information so they can get started. So
Well, we will.
what are we waiting on?
I don't know, do you have yours ready?
Here.
You have yours ready?
You said last month you were getting this together.
I was-
And then this
I
month you're
said-
like, well, I haven't done anything. So
I said
what are we
last
waiting
month I
on?
will contact the company, and I haven't, because of my time.
They're probably not gonna do it till summertime again.
Till summer? Well, they
Yeah,
can't do it.
tax season, they're not gonna do an audit, I don't think.
Probably not, but we'll find out. But they still need, the information needs to be gotten together
Well,
and got to them.
And the books need to be closed. So we will close our books on our fiscal year. If that's what you're,
Which has already happened.
Right.
There's no reason why that shouldn't already be done.
I'm not treasurer.
Okay, okay. See, we need to, and then ours is December.
And what about Lincoln Senior Center?
I don't know.
They're in the same, they're in the fiscal year as you are.
Okay.
They go from October to September.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we will,
do you have an update on the board members that's missing today?
yes, Jolene, but they, she gave me a letter, and, let's see, did I give it to you? I have that. Yeah, she gave me a letter, and I will read that to you. From Jolene Cole. My term to the Council on Aging ends this month. I choose not to continue for a second term. Carol Stegman will be the new representative from the Lincoln Senior Center. Now, I have to double check with them to see if they have, if that is what they had voted on. So she will be the representative starting today. Okay?
Can I step in here?
Yeah.
My term ends the end of December, so what do I do? Or what does the board have to do?
Yeah, so somebody needs to replace you.
So have you been on?
Or
No, I took over in January.
Oh, so you're
For, yeah, but it was for one, to finish out their 1 year.
Didn't you save the meeting in that letter? Her last husband was June 3.
We're getting
Oh, no,
off
no,
track.
no, 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 this is Carol.
We're getting off track.
Carol's taking it.
Carol's.
Let's go back to our audit stuff.
Okay.
The senior centers can have all of this done. Can we send a letter out to the senior centers and request that they have all of their financials and their balance sheets and everything done and turned into us by the next meeting?
What's it be the?
Let's make it February, because with the holidays and all that, so that people have time, I'd stretch it till the February meeting, but not any later than that.
That'd be satisfactory.
Okay.
That will give them time to get there.
We'll take multiple people.
She made a motion, I'll second it. Yeah. A letter written, I don't know who's writing, but a letter written to the 2 senior centers to have copies of all your financials by the February meeting.
Which is February.
I don't know, I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Is that the correct date? Just so I write it down here.
Get a calendar.
Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Judy did.
Judy did, yeah.
Okay, and then
27th.
February 27th.
27th.
February 27th will be the meeting.
All right.
Okay.
And then, let's get the Council on Aging thrown in here too. Teresa,
Yes.
I'd volunteer myself if you're willing to come in sometime in January, and I think you and I could run through there and put the balance sheets and all that together in a day, if not 2.
That'd be great.
And then have that ready by the February meeting also.
Sure. Okay.
So, do you want that in a motion? I make a motion that.
Wait, let's vote on the other one.
Oh, sorry, we didn't vote on that, did we?
Oh, no, we need to vote on the other motion to have the senior centers submit theirs by February 27th. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Nobody vote? Oh, okay. All right, now.
Okay.
And then you can just work, you can just work out that motion.
No.
I don't think we need, you can just make those arrangements with Teresa.
All right.
Who seconded that?
Judy.
Judy.
Okay.
You're a busy seconder today.
Oh, goodness.
Good. We always need
My
somebody.
mouth shut.
Always need
I
somebody.
was kidding and you.
It makes it easier for you, right?
And
All right.
Teresa and Liz meet when?
That's their
we'll
business.
just didn't.
That's their business.
We'll just
Just
get
say
the-
we'll meet.
Just say Teresa and Liz will
to
get
prepare.
the Council on Aging financials in order.
Just say when, that's up to them when whatever
Okay.
they
Yeah,
decide to
and
do.
then we'll have to call you and get with the rest of the financials as far as the accounts and all of that. But we can get the financial statements together, the balance sheets done and all that real quick.
Okay. All right, are we ready to go on to new business? End of the year excess monies.
Okay, and that's what I was looking at, what did we come up with total?
No, I have to look back.
73 cents. wasn't it?
There we go. 73,156. I need to calculate it. I've got one handy.
Okay, that's on the second.
For free
You make it
tickets,
work.
I mean,
I can do that.
started.
Take that less than $750 to the Lincoln Senior Center.
So it's gonna take something for excess money. But it hasn't started.
What now?
750, you said?
Yes.
We
72,
voted last month to
406.
have that bus bring people here.
Uh-huh.
So excess money, I was willing to go to transportation, but we haven't started it, so
Yeah.
so much
What-
money.
Any ideas what you think is gonna run?
A lot.
Terry?
10,000?
I would guess 10,000. I mean,
No, I wouldn't think it'd be that high.
I'm hoping it's not, but
I was,
Maybe, but
Ours was
should
5
we,
over Beverly,
yours was 5 at Beverly.
but,
and we just had somebody from Salina do it.
how many funds go through your Beverly account, you know?
first we,
Because that's what they charge you, the
Yeah, I
amount of
know.
money goes through.
Yeah, I know.
Soon
What
it
do
was
they charge?
11,000, but they have over 200 and some $1,000 in and out.
Yeah.
That's how they determine the cost.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't tell you on that one.
What would it cost you?
5.
Okay, I was thinking about 7. I'm probably wrong.
we really do
Can we
authority.
just hold this over to pay?
Well, we need to get it done first. We need to get somebody
I
to do
don't
it.
think we
Well,
should.
yeah. Well,
Before you make a decision on how much to pay.
No, I'm saying this excess money held over to pay for this whenever we get the audit. I don't wanna go
and do it,
pay
and then we
Joe
don't
Blow
have,
down the street some money and then we're up the creek looking for it to pay for it.
you
Yeah,
have
I
a-
have a different way of talking.
But you have a good point, Judy, you do. We want to be sure that we do have enough money in the
pay-
account to pay for it, and we have no idea. I mean, we're not even in a ballpark figure yet.
I
for
mean,
what
when
need,
we-
what we're gonna need.
What, 2 months ago, we said at the end of the year or some time, we were gonna designate what to do with the excess money. Well, we have come up with this audit, but we don't know what it's gonna cost.
Yes,
And we seek for foreseeable expenses, we're not aware of the cost.
yeah.
Because I don't even know if we, Valerie, do you know if we got our insurance check for our loss from the insurance company?
Yeah, we got it and it's in the bank already.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
But we have expenses to come, but we don't have quotes on it.
Okay, I need a
And-
motion
and-
if anyone wants to,
Okay, and Judy, let me mention
That's
one
the
other
city,
thing.
right?
We
Cities don't do it every
want
year,
to
but
do the
like
audits
Sylvan
of
did it.
the Lincoln
Clerks, so
Senior
clerks
Center,
votes and
the
Lincoln
Sylvan
Council
Senior
on
Center,
Aging.
and the Council on Aging. There's 3 audits there.
Right.
We also have to consider that, right?
Mhm.
So,
Each,
well, that's what I
Each
was
one will
talking
take
about,
their own.
this audit.
No.
well, no, because we made a motion to have that.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm saying
Council on
this
Aging.
money,
Council on Aging is gonna have to pay for all 3 audits, that's what I'm saying.
oh, and this is mill levy.
Which I think,
Okay,
I think
if-
if we figured eight,
for these
eight would
first
be on the,
ones,
the
did I
very
say
high
it right?
side of that. You know, and we still have like 50,000 in reserves there, in excess. So essentially, if we gave the county back, would that be 15,000? Just to decrease that reserve, I think we'd still be in plenty fine shape there.
What do we have to have it run back? In the year?
Well, let me ask Terry Finch, Commissioner, what is the aspect on that if we know that additional expenses coming after the first of the year?
I don't know what this audit's gonna cost.
No, I know
You're
that.
funded for next year at a lower rate than what your budget was, and I don't remember the exact difference between what you budgeted and what you were funded.
The budget was 99,000 and the funding was at 75, what I remember. So there's a $20,000 plus gift.
And I wouldn't even, I'm not gonna guess at the audit. I
wouldn't wanna guess.
I wouldn't want to guess.
So I would move we do not spend
All
any
right,
money.
but like
for
she
those
says,
things.
that comes out of the Council of Aging, and this, we're talking about mill levy, so we're talking about two different. I get confused on this
No.
account.
LCCA is on the, it's on the list.
Okay.
And are we gonna have expenses? Is that gonna come out of this for everything that they want?
No, they have, it's been stated by the attorney here that if there's any expenses for them, they have to pay for it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, they have to pay.
But it can only be at cost.
Yeah, any copies or anything like that.
Okay.
So no expense to LCCA.
Okay. Let's do, what, does anybody want to make a motion? How much we want to?
Well, it's up to the rest of you. I mean, I think we could easily put 15,000 back, or do you wanna hang on to it? Now's the time to make up your mind, huh?
I move we hold the remainder till we get everything done, because we've got, the structural engineer's report. We don't know what that's gonna cost. We need, Bob.
I start to say the same thing, Mike. You haven't turned in your bids yet, right?
I know, because
It might be 20,000.
it may take multiple contractors,
That's true.
and we have no idea. Now,
It's going to.
I was
Okay,
told.
do we have, yeah, so you have your structural engineer, we have the audits coming, any other
Okay, how about we
things
do
that
this? I'll just make a motion that we, table what to do with the excess funds until the January meeting, and at that time we'll bring it up and look at it then and see where we're at.
See where we're at. Okay, wait a second to that motion. Okay.
I want to add one more comment. The other thing is, our structural engineer, he did give us the structural report. On that other aspect, he could have went farther and gave us an estimate of the cost. We did not do it at that time. But it probably would be great to know what each specific 7 items cost individually.
Yes.
The stone wall's been looked at by a stonemason, and the stone wall is secure. It is a 22-inch wall, I believe, which is a double wall. There's a lot of mass in there.
It's not been going anywhere soon.
One thing bad about putting mortar over limestone, as moisture gets behind it, it causes issues.
Yeah.
And there is some missing, but there is a slight bow wall. But with a 22-inch mass, it ain't gonna move very fast. It will move after we're gone.
Well, I thought the same thing on Mike. The thing is, the one with the price is gonna cost us to even push it back in if we had to. Then you gotta dig out from behind there.
But our biggest concern is what's gonna happen next door.
Well, that's what's bad about the whole thing of you guys, because the roof is on there. But they're not gonna pay that. They're trying to sell the whole gosh darn thing, and you're not gonna get it for $1.
And the other thing too is, Bob, the city does have condemnation, but.
That's right, but then it's gonna be on you.
Well, I went
Christmas presents.
It's really tough to get that done.
It is?
Yes, it is. But there are city ordinances. And then I can tell you, there are 55-gallon trash can in there, there's 5-gallon buckets, there's a rain gutter. All this is inside the building.
There is another building up there, Sylvan, I haven't been Sylvan.
I've looked and I didn't see that.
Bob looked and he didn't see anything
I
that
tried
was
to get a
even.
different house up there. That house is what there is.
And that was condemned to that.
But here's the kicker. If you acquire the land, you can put up a $40,000-$50,000 building. A brand new place. It's gonna be there forever.
With no efficient.
Where are you gonna come up with the 40,000, 50,000?
Well, you're trying to get some back here.
There's a motion. I mean, there's
Okay.
grants for that.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, we have a motion on the floor.
To hold the excess funds until,
Table the motion.
Just to table it until the January meeting, and we will reevaluate at that time.
Okay, and do we have a second to Leslie's
Yes.
motion? Yeah. And Charlene seconded, Charlene DeWitt seconded. Okay, all right. All in favor of the motion to table any further action until next meeting? Raise your right hand. Okay, thank you very much. That's happened. So if everybody can get their things together, you know, by next meeting.
Do you have the Sylvan financials for the last month?
No, because we had no meeting. What I gave you,
Oh.
what I gave you was November was on there.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there was no.
December was the Christmas party.
Mike,
The
are you
bills-
guys in the red?
The bills still have to be paid, whether you had a meeting or not.
Right.
So the treasurer's report still needs to be handed in.
Well, you got the information currently on there up to end of November, and I projected December. We didn't have a meeting in December. So I don't have, all the bills aren't in yet. And I'll have that updated.
But you guys are 801 in the red?
No, 801, the red designates, what does it say on that top column of red that?
Improved mill levy.
Improvement mill levy. That's funding that Commissioner said any improvements or over and above mill levy funding.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite following you.
That's what they
Give me an
said.
example.
Okay, like, the floor, that does not count against your budget for mill levy. That's a major improvement, and the
Table.
Commissioner said that that's over and above your mill levy budget. That's why it's in the red.
So you can't spend it?
No, we can spend it, but it's not part of the budget, which is budget is based on normal expenses.
Okay.
But your budget includes room for repair or maintenance.
Not what they said at the Commissioners meeting when you were there. L. Joe said, no, that's over and above.
Unless they know what improvement they're gonna do, they can't.
Right,
put it in the budget.
But
no,
those
that's
were-
true, yes.
These are the expenses that we approved and paid for the senior center over and above the
801,
budgeted
over and
funds.
above the budget.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the red.
But this is money you were paid.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was over
Well,
and
you
above
have it
budget.
in red, so it looks like it's a debit.
I have it
It's
in red.
not.
I have it in red.
It's extra
designated.
money that you receive from the Council on Aging to cover expenses
After
outside
they-
of
yeah.
your monthly bills.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
After they came,
Okay.
That's all it was doing, was
That's-
designating
Joe
the
that.
color.
after they came and presented that.
So it's actually additional mill levy funds is what it is.
Yes, it
Over
is.
and above budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can budget our normal expenses, but, you know, sometimes it's difficult to budget
Okay.
repairs and maintenance.
You do.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I got it.
Okay. Next is, C. Oh, we have another,
That's Dale.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. In C,
Let me jump in first, if you would. After the last meeting, and when I actually sit down and read all the minutes for both senior centers, and actually looked at them instead of just skimming over them, I had several questions here. We don't have anybody here from Lincoln today, do we?
No.
Just one thing I saw in the Lincoln is she puts everybody's first name down in the minutes, and, you know, there's only 800 Bobs running around, so
Oh.
like Bob who? You know, it's like, you know, put full names in there as to who's doing what, you know? There's, yeah, Bob and Jim and, you know, Joe did everything, and it's like we have no
Yeah.
clue who that is, and so those should just be stipulated in your minutes, just to keep things straight,
you
you
need full
know?
names.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if somebody could notify them to
Yes, she is.
make that little change, would be nice.
I'll say something too.
And then I've been trying to figure this out because it doesn't make any sense to me, but on the Sylvan's stuff, you have a regularly scheduled executive committee meeting.
They meet to set the agenda the week before.
Okay, well, in your minutes, it's called an executive committee meeting. We don't call an executive
That's
committee
right, that
meeting
should be. That should be.
to put together an
Yeah.
agenda. So exactly what is this?
It's an agenda meeting. Agenda session, so it should be executive, it should read that way. It's an agenda session to set up the schedule for the meeting.
I'm not quite sure why you have a meeting to set up the meeting, but.
Because if those on the board have issues they want brought up, or anybody, it's put on that agenda, so it's discussed at the meeting. And there are other things that can come up during the meeting too. It's just the policy they've done for years, as far as I know. Valerie is left, but, she's president.
Well, if you do any discussion, do you not have to,
But it's like you're having are you having a meeting?
No, we
I
don't
mean,
have discussion.
Because you have no minutes or anything on these meetings, and you're calling them executive committee meetings, and
It's topics, but,
so
all the decisions.
that needs to be clarified somehow.
All the decisions are made at the meetings, monthly meetings.
So, I don't know, talk to whoever you need to talk to, but
Yeah.
get it clarified as to what's
I'll
going
notify
on.
Valerie as president.
Okay. Also, is Alexis Blue a member at the Sylvan Senior Center?
Yeah.
Isn't she a little young?
Yeah,
Just
she's a
curious.
member.
I'm just curious on how,
She's a commissioner, she can't be.
because I saw too where
She cannot be.
she was seconding motions in your minutes.
She can't do that, Pete. She can't be a member.
Well, she's seconding motions, so why is she seconding motions if she's not a member?
Well, I thought she was.
Well, I can say the bylaws read that 51% of the membership has to be above 60. So it doesn't designate that you can't be under 60 to be a member of the Sylvan Senior Center. And even the LCCA is the same thing.
But the commissioner can't sit on it.
Well, I'm
I
not.
don't believe, Terry, can you clarify that for us? Not gonna touch that one? Okay?
It's their bylaws, it's their
Yes, I
bylaws,
blame you on that
it's their
one.
bylaws, not ours.
Yeah,
Well, they might be in their bylaws.
Well, the bylaws state, it can be a member, they don't have to be 60 to be a member, but you have to have a percentage of those that are, a high percentage. And that's, the bylaws originally for the LCCA read 51% for 60-year-old.
not original? That's the original, but that's,
2015.
no, it's 70%.
So once 2015, that's the one we're going with.
No,
Like,
you
the
have
only time
something.
I get
I know.
is Alexis sitting on a committee meeting, is that where she sits on the commission, she's hearing everything that you guys need, then she brings it up.
Yeah.
She makes a big statement about it.
I can see where there'd be just a real conflict of interest there.
That's it.
And I think it's real improper.
I understand.
So would you please get it clarified and report back to us
Yeah,
on it
find
next
out.
month?
I'll find out.
Might want to get her off your committee, then, if she's on the committee, but I just don't think it's the proper thing.
I would think she'd be welcome to come to your,
I don't know
meeting
how
and
old she
sit
is,
in
but
on
I
the
don't,
meeting.
but I don't quite understand why she would be a member at the senior center. Maybe that's just me, but, you know.
Well, it does read, it doesn't specify an age you have to be a member. It does say that there's a percentage that has to be 60 and older. So you can be younger, just like the senior community employment program. You have to be.
Well, the point is you're a senior center, and, you
That's
know.
right.
So I don't think there should just be a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds running around in there. you know.
Just like the
So-
paper we
That's just
signed,
me.
it asks for anyone under 60.
Yeah.
So we've got
So-
at least one person here under 60.
Basically, rightfully so, I would say.
And
that,
someone can come in here and eat under 60, you're paying a higher price.
But it should read that voting rights should be like members that are 60 or older, whatever our bylaws read.
Yeah, I would have to go
That
back and
doesn't
look
mean they
at
can't
those,
belong.
but like I said, when I read this in your minutes,
Well.
I was quite confused by that.
Didn't we vote at the beginning of the year, I could go back to the minutes, that there was to be an update about bylaws?
Yeah.
Has it ever been done?
And Jolie and I had worked on them, and now she's gone.
So,
You had a third person on that committee, too.
Right. And we haven't had a chance to
And,
review it.
yeah, and the year's over now, so
Yeah, I know.
we'll just start over next year and go from there. So,
There were bigger issues every month.
Oh. Just one on my mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
anything else?
now I'm assuming though that your last, well, no, because you don't have, where's your let's go. Okay, so you have this,
That is pretty good.
but you don't have anything on the other account. And
But he said he was getting that.
Yeah, and you'll have that next month.
No, I'll have it in February. That's when we agreed to. Have the full fiscal year financial.
Okay, yeah, fine. Because the financials that you gave last month for the senior center told, which, well, I know the treasurer was sick and this and that, but, what you gave us told us nothing. I mean, it's, you know,
Liz?
check number 804 was written for $333, doesn't mean a thing. It's
Well,
like,
everything's there.
what is it, where did it
has
go?
itemized
So
expense and
that is
everything.
all itemized and included in this?
Yeah, everything's there as
Okay.
far as the mill levy account. That
All right.
is everything, except for I projected December since it's not closed.
Yeah, when you do something like that, don't try to check it out.
Well, I'm just trying to give you an amount. And I did it based on 11 months, added one month up. So,
Okay.
Okay, I still want to bring up what I brought up before. My thing ends, and names have to be turned into the commissioners, along with, what, Carol Stegman? Yours is ended. Who else is ending?
Whose is it?
Are you going to stay on?
I just finished it, so.
You can actually
just
serve
finished?
2 terms of
You
2
ain't missed out.
years.
Well, that's a short, just to finish out the year, you know.
Are you willing to stay
Oh,
on?
absolutely, absolutely. It's not, yes, I'll say yes.
Because
That's all right with the commission.
Teresa has to submit this
They
to
gotta
the...
vote that, they gotta
Because
vote.
I got my letter here.
Yeah, you finish out for Cindy Adams.
it's
I
in
knew
the-
somebody.
it's at the senior center, they make their choice.
I'm talking about sitting right here.
Where you're at.
Judy,
You're the city.
you wanna stay next year?
Yeah, I'll
There you
stay,
go, that's all
but
you
that's
got.
what
That's all you
I'm
have to say.
getting on,
Okay.
that it's something that has to be done.
Yeah. I have
Well,
to
see,
let
the names have to be submitted and then.
And it
Is
has to
there
be
anyone
submitted.
else that
And
was,
it was just like for Jolene sending this letter, I will have to check with the senior center and make sure that this is who they voted on, and then we will submit that also. So we'll do your
I'm
name,
trying
your
to
name,
do
and
it-
this name.
but what I asked was anyone else's position
Sure.
ending?
No, I think they're kind of staggered so that not everybody goes off at the same time.
Okay,
Well, you
that's what
can't, I mean, you can't have 5 off at one time.
Yes, right. We have to stagger them so that
I know,
we
I
don't
was
have
just
everybody
asking
off
if
at the
everybody...
same
We're all
time.
new,
Yes,
you know, we're
it
all.
can
Yeah.
So,
all be.
Well, so I'm just gonna make a motion that we retain Bob Lovelace and Judy Overs for the new term.
But your districts, or your Lincoln City, right?
I'm something with Lincoln.
I'm Westfall.
Okay, would be a district.
Yeah.
And
District,
districts are
your city.
selected primarily and approved by the commissioners.
That's right, they gotta be submitted to the commissioners, they gotta
And
approve.
yours come from the city of Lincoln itself.
No, look, right here, it says from the commissioners.
Well, I know that, but I mean, recommendation comes from the city.
I don't know.
That's right,
That's right.
that's right, Judy, yeah, that's right,
Same thing as Sparky, he is from the city of Silver.
that's right, that's right.
Don't worry about
The
it.
commission's
Yeah.
gotta approve.
They aren't gonna.
Do I come here next month or not?
Yes, you do. We will let you know
Yeah, now
otherwise.
she can sit
They'll give you a letter. They'll give you a letter.
And then, did Jolene, you gotta back up on that.
I
Did she say-
have to double check on this, to make sure that they voted on it, and then, we will submit.
According to the minutes.
Well, I will double check. I will double check on that day.
Second on that?
Yes, this is.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Could be anybody else's.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
You seconded
Seconding
it.
on
I'll
yourself?
second it.
To me personally.
I know.
You're
So-
seconding on yourself?
You seconded my motion.
Okay, so, what do we have for motion, Charlene? Bless
We move on, okay?
you. Bless
Red
you.
made a motion to retain Judy and Bob for another term per the commissioners. Okay,
Okay, uh-huh,
Bob second.
okay, all right. All in favor, raise your right hand.
It's all your fault.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we'll check on that and we'll do that. Okay, anything else there, or are we ready for our representative?
Well, I have one more thing yet.
Okay.
The last bylaws are dated November 24th of 2015, is that correct?
I believe so.
December.
Well, these are the ones that were given to me.
Hold on a minute.
The bylaws for what?
Here.
For here.
Council on Aging.
Well, I gotta tell you, people, I've never received them.
Well, all right.
They were given
We'll
to
make
us at
sure
our
that
first meeting in
They were
January.
giving you at the first meeting you came to.
I've got everything.
January 27th, 2015 is when they were signed.
Well, how come these are amended November 24th of 2015?
Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're probably right.
Probably
Yep.
here.
As amended November 24th, 2015.
Okay, that's the current one.
So, yeah, you have the most current ones.
Okay, so under Article 2, organization, Article 3, membership, under Section 3, executive officers shall be elected annually at the December meeting and shall begin serving immediately. Officers shall serve no more than 2 consecutive years in the same office. Are you aware of that?
Does that mean somebody else takes over this?
We elected in January, but the bylaws state that it was done in
This is
December.
1 year.
Says you can serve 2 years.
Well, with the president gone, so at that time.
No, I'm talking about right here.
Jan and I went on.
I'm talking about right here.
So you could serve another year.
Our elections were done in
And that-
January, which is, because I was nominated, I said I can't serve because the bylaws say a year. Well, it doesn't say a year, but it says December, so you've been on 7 months before you got out to the election.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So
So
you're
was
saying we need
your
to have
question
like.
answered, Mike?
what's that?
Was your question answered then?
Well, the bylaws say that December is
You
the
have
election.
an election.
Oops, somebody missed
Somebody
it.
called.
Girl, they're just stomping around over there.
Next
Start
door.
dancing.
Well, and here's your problem, because your vice president isn't here. You're going to have to wait until you get another member in here, so we need, if you three will stay on 1 more year in your present capacity.
It has to be by vote.
Now, she's been president twice for 2 years, right?
No,
I
this
thought
is the
it
first
was.
year.
1 year. But I had a year, I was
Oh,
on.
a year
yeah,
from
and
way
then
back
I
when,
got-
okay.
And then I came back.
So we're all new, and Charlene, you're new too, I knew, aren't you? As treasurer.
Yeah, I do all the time.
You're fresh.
She's right,
So,
yeah.
so I guess we're all new.
I've been here for, how long have I been here? 2 years.
But not as treasurer.
No, I took,
Just as treasurer.
All right, so we're all good.
So what needs to change?
oh, we gotta have a vice president.
Yeah, you have to have a vice president.
May 18th, December 18th.
And,
But not as treasurer.
if it's,
Oh,
I don't know.
should I
we
make a
can-
nomination?
We could, I guess we can make a nomination, or we
That'd be
can
the
wait.
appropriate way to do it.
I'll make a nomination of Liz to be our vice president.
Okay.
Like, you want that? You want that position?
I
Hell, you-
second it.
No,
She says no.
I'm feeling real.
Okay, all right.
I think she
It's
does a
been moved
good
and
job.
seconded that Liz Winkler be our vice president for the upcoming year. Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand.
You're up. She just got on. Oh, that's right, she just got.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Is that, did we get, all right, okay. We're all right there. All right,
So what else
Anything
do
else?
we have to,
I don't know of anything else. I've gone through all
We're
of
gonna
mine.
keep we need to vote on the remaining slate too.
you don't have to vote on it, you're not changing.
But it's the elections, I mean, you vote on everybody for elections. It just
didn't
doesn't come
say-
automatic.
Well, isn't it, as I understood, it's 2-year term.
As
They can
president,
stay
as
on.
secretary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can stay on for 2 terms.
It's still a
That's next
2-year
year.
term, so
next
that's,
year.
Officers shall serve no more than 2 consecutive years in the same office.
yeah,
They've only been here for a year.
they
So
haven't,
it's a
they
2-year
haven't been
term.
there. It's a
Okay.
2-year
So
term.
there,
So
we're
we've only
good.
been
So
on
there's nothing else
on
to
this
do.
for a year.
We're good.
And this, okay, all right,
We're ready for
Okay. We are ready
I've
for
waited
our
this.
man.
I've waited this all month.
You've been waiting all month. Don't have a whole lot. Older Kansas Day coming up, February 13th, so start planning for it. There's a flyer in here about it, and when you have to have your reservation in. We'll have more in keynotes that's coming out shortly. They're also going to put the public policy goals that you can talk about at Older Kansas Day. They're going to print those in keynotes. So I don't know when that's coming out, but just shortly. They're working on it. And then last Friday, Congress had till midnight to either pass a continuing resolution on the budget or actually do a budget, and they chose to pass a continuing resolution again. Because I heard that I was on my way to Ellsworth early in the morning Friday, and they said they already passed the continuing resolution. So that just means they just shoved it aside again a little while longer, because no one can seem to say this is what it's going to be. And I don't know if they have like another week. I think they had like 2 weeks after they passed that before they have to do something
Yeah,
again.
it comes up at the end of this week, I think.
Yeah, should be coming up. So it'll be interesting to see. So you still have time to talk to your congressman, get busy and tell them they need to get on the stick and create a budget so they can't keep taking money back and forth. The cold weather rule, most energy companies will not shut off your heat or water stuff in the wintertime, but you have to go in there ahead of time and set something up with them. So if you know of anyone in your area who might be in danger of that, you know they don't have funds, make sure that you encourage them to go into their utility companies and set something up so they don't get that shut off through the winter. I don't think they're allowed to shut it off if it's below a certain temperature anyway.
30 degrees.
30 degrees, yeah. Hopefully most utility companies will work with people. Family Caregiver Talk Show is going to happen tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Lauren Steinlage, she's a case manager. She's going to be doing the talk show on resources that are available in your communities. So that should be very interesting. Medicare open enrollment, everybody made it through. Teresa, you made it through. Barely.
Now, what station's that on?
You have a, let's see, let's look on the calendar here. There should be, yes, down on the calendar there's a, on January, here, no, up on December 20th. It tells you how to dial in. It's over on the right side of this. It tells you how to dial the number you dial, and then you put a PIN number in it.
It'd be a teleconference then, basically.
Yeah.
There it is, okay.
Yeah.
I did the Mills program like a month ago. We did something on that,
4
and
blocks down. There it is.
But what station is that on?
it's not a station.
It's a
It's
phone.
like a
What's it called?
conference
It's a
call.
phone in.
It's
I
something
might
like a
just wanna-
conference call.
I just want to listen.
Well, you can listen. Dial in,
call them
and
to
you'll
listen.
just state your name, and the person that's doing the show, which is probably Alma, she will just have you state your name, that you're on there, and she'll welcome you, and
Okay. And I can
she'll
listen.
give you directions of
Okay.
what you can do. You can put your phone on mute, you can just listen,
Okay.
you can ask questions.
Don't have any breathing on there, do you?
No heavy breathing.
That's why it's on mute.
That's right. All right, I'm with you.
But you can ask anything you want. You can be as involved in it as you want to be, and you can hang up whenever you want to.
Okay.
So I was pleased the day that we did it. I think there was like 8 people that called in and listened and asked questions. So I appreciated that. I'm like, oh, what if nobody calls in? I'm going to feel terrible. But anyway, they try to have an interesting topic for you each month. Let's see. Matter balance classes. All we have is at Salina coming up in February, and then another Tai Chi class in Salina. I don't know if Becky's got it out this way. You guys got anything around Sylvan? I might encourage Becky to call Lauren Steinlage and try and get something out this way, and maybe Sylvan people can get involved in that, and it'd be good for the community. There's a page on the back here. It's a checklist about preventing elder isolation. I would say it's good to read it over, and if you know of someone who might fit that category, that you feel like they're isolated, they can't get out of their home, and they're not seeing people, try and make contact with them. Try and help them out. Sometimes a person doesn't know that they're that isolated. Anyway, that is really all that I have, and I'm sorry I didn't get here last month.
We missed it last month.
Well, I went to a Thanksgiving dinner on a Saturday, and by Sunday, 18 of us from that dinner were very sick.
I wouldn't go to Christmas dinner.
We're not having a Christmas dinner on that side.
Let's go to that or no?
We went to it last year. It's fun to go. It really is. You learn a lot of things. You get to go to the Capitol building and rub elbows with your representatives and stuff, and kind of tell them what's on your mind.
Definitely tell them what's on your mind.
So it's really good.
All right. We don't have any of our county board representatives here today. And Teresa has her report written out. Do you have anything else to add to that, Teresa?
Well, I just want to brag a little bit. I saved the county, Lincoln Countyans, $140,000.
That is awesome.
That's
just from April.
April to December.
That is awesome. It is well worth people
It looks like this.
looking into that.
It's just
Yeah.
the sheet with the
Running it
Good
back
job.
through.
Good job.
What that lawyer cost us to hire?
That came in here today.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
What?
the lawyer was here today, Mr. Chance. What did he cost us?
I don't know, we don't have.
He never said a bill yet.
No, but I saw it's $170 an hour.
Yeah.
Not-
So
did he
we
come
didn't feel like we had any choice.
No, I'm just saying, he has.
Did he come from Topeka?
No, I know,
Okay.
one boy.
So his driving time, the time he was here?
Yeah, we haven't gotten that bill yet. So,
I asked the same question.
mhm.
So you're probably talking 340.
So we can't close out our,
Yeah.
we can't close out our money report until we get a bill from him for the year. Right?
Yeah, that's another thing we have to consider there, so. Okay, anybody have anything else? Okay, if not, we'll,
You know, someone the first month doesn't have till next year.
we will,
So, yeah.
we will adjourn, or we need a motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you,
Make a
Bob,
motion?
and thank Bob for the donuts.
All they get more, they're burgers.
I'll second. We need a second, John.
I need a second, there we go.
Okay,
Bob, would you-
all in favor of adjourning? Aye. Aye. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Terry, do you have anything you want to say?